I walked into the boardroom feeling like an imposter, heart racing, palms sweating. I was seconds from bombing the biggest presentation of my career. Then I did something that changed everything. I became someone else. What if I told you that the most focused, confident version of yourself already exists inside you? In this video, I'll show you the science-backed method that top performers in business, sports, and entertainment use to instantly access flow states and 10x their focus. It's not about being fake, it's about strategically amplifying the traits you already have. What if I told you that your struggle with focus isn't a personal failure, but a battle against an invisible enemy? This enemy resides within you, sabotaging your best efforts to stay concentrated on important tasks. I call this enemy your inner nemesis, the part of your brain wired to keep you exactly where you are, comfortable in your limitations. Look around you. We're swimming in a sea of distractions unlike anything humans have faced before. Your phone buzzes with notifications approximately 96 times per day. That deadline approaches, but perfectionism holds you hostage, analyzing every potential mistake before you've even started. Meanwhile, the pressure to perform at peak levels continuously hangs over you like a storm cloud. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They're systematic barriers to achieving the focus necessary for meaningful work. We've tried the traditional solutions, Pomodoro timers, website blockers, meditation apps, morning routines. And while these tools occasionally produce temporary improvements, they ultimately fail because they target symptoms rather than the root cause. The hard truth is that these methods don't address the deeper identity conflicts operating beneath your awareness. They don't touch the fundamental beliefs you hold about who you are and what you're capable of. Our brains develop neural pathways that reinforce our current identity with every action and thought. These pathways become deeply entrenched over time. When you tell yourself, I'm just not good at focusing, or I always get distracted, you're not making casual observations. You're reinforcing identity-based neural connections that your brain then works tirelessly to protect. This explains why transformation through willpower alone remains frustratingly elusive. Neuroscience reveals a fascinating mechanism at work here: identity homeostasis. Your brain actively resists changes to your self-image, even positive ones. It creates an invisible ceiling on your potential, triggering anxiety, doubt, and distraction whenever you approach the boundaries of your established identity. This isn't a design flaw. It's a protection mechanism developed over evolutionary time to maintain consistency and avoid risk. The problem is that this same mechanism now prevents you from accessing the focus states required in our complex modern environment. I discovered this the hard way. For 3 years, I collected productivity systems like some people collect stamps. I had a perfectly organized digital task manager. I track my time in 15-minute increments. My notifications were disabled during focus blocks. My environment was optimized for deep work. Yet I still found myself staring blankly at important projects, my mind wandering to easier, less meaningful tasks. Each new productivity system worked briefly before failing, leaving me more frustrated than before. Is the ordinary world most of us inhabit, a place where our potential remains largely untapped. Because we're trying to improve without fundamentally changing who we are in specific contexts, we attempt to force focus through a self-identity that's literally programmed for distraction. It's like trying to run high-performance software on outdated hardware. Research from the field of embodied cognition points to something remarkable. Identity-based transformation creates more lasting change than behavior-based approaches. When scientists at Stanford studied participants who visualized themselves as different personas completing tasks, they found significant improvements in performance compared to those who simply practiced the skills. The difference wasn't in what they did, it was in who they became while doing it. The real reason your focus fails isn't lack of discipline. The problem is more fundamental. You're trying to access peak performance states through the wrong identity, your current self, with all its habitual thought patterns, emotional responses, and self-limiting beliefs, isn't designed for the level of focus you need. No amount of productivity hacks will overcome this core limitation. Think about Clark Kent and Superman. Same person, different identities, vastly different capabilities. Kent doesn't try to stop speeding bullets. He transforms into someone who can. This isn't fantasy. It's a psychological mechanism top performers have utilized for centuries. But what if you could become someone else? Someone designed specifically to conquer your focus challenges? What if, instead of fighting against your current limitations, you could temporarily step into an identity engineered precisely for the focus you need? This is where the science of alter egos enters our story. The strategic adoption of an alter ego isn't about being fake or inauthentic. It's about intentionally accessing parts of yourself that already exist, but remain dormant under the weight of your habitual identity. It's about creating a psychological environment where your best capabilities can emerge without interference from your inner nemesis. And as we'll see next, this approach doesn't just marginally improve your focus, it can multiply it tenfold in the situations where it matters most. Your alter ego isn't some fake persona invented to deceive others. It's the strategic amplification of traits that already exist within you, waiting to be activated. This distinction matters because it transforms what might seem like inauthentic pretending into a powerful psychological tool for accessing your untapped potential. Let me show you how to build yours. The science behind alter egos reveals something fascinating about human psychology. Researchers conducting the future self visualization study discovered that participants who embodied different identities while completing tasks showed significant improvements in performance compared to those who simply practiced skills. The difference wasn't in what they did, it was in who they became while doing it. This transformation happens because our brains don't strictly distinguish between what we imagine vividly and what we experience directly. By intentionally embodying a different identity, we access neural pathways that might otherwise remain dormant. Many people misunderstand alter egos as fake it till you make it, a form of dishonest posturing or superficial acting. The reality is fundamentally different. Your alter ego isn't about fabricating something foreign to your nature. It's about strategically emphasizing authentic parts of yourself that typically remain unexpressed. Think of it as turning up the volume on specific traits that already exist within you, rather than inventing something from nothing. This approach maintains integrity while still allowing for powerful transformation. Creating your focus alter ego follows a structured 5-step process. First, define your focus realm, the specific situation where enhanced concentration is critical. This might be client presentations, creative writing sessions, coding sprints, or strategic planning meetings. Being precise matters because your alter ego is designed for particular contexts, not as a replacement for your entire identity. Second, identify your inner nemesis, the collection of self-limiting beliefs, distractions, and thought patterns that sabotage your focus in this realm. Name this nemesis, give it a form, understand its tactics. This creates psychological distance from these limiting patterns, rather than seeing them as inseparable parts of yourself. Third, select your alter ego's traits. What qualities would a person with extraordinary focus in your specific realm possess? Mental clarity, strategic patience, unwavering confidence. Choose 3 to 5 traits that directly counter your inner nemesis. The key is selecting qualities you already possess to some degree but need to amplify. Fourth, create activation rituals that signal your brain to switch states. Neuroscience shows these rituals serve as powerful cues that trigger neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. When consistently performed, these rituals cause your brain to associate specific actions with particular mental states. Consider how top performers use this principle. Before presentations, one executive always stands in the same posture for 2 minutes, while mentally reciting a personal mantra. A professional athlete listens to the same 3 songs in sequence before competing. These aren't superstitions, they're neurological state change triggers. Fifth, choose your relic, a physical object that embodies your alter ego's traits and serves as a tangible bridge to your new identity. This might be a specific pair of glasses, a watch, a pen, or any object you can associate with your focus persona. The physical relic reinforces the mental shift and makes your alter ego more accessible. Your alter ego needs a compelling backstory that gives it emotional resonance and psychological depth. This narrative creates context for your alternate identity and makes it feel more real to your unconscious mind. Where did this persona originate? What experiences shaped their approach to focus? What motivates them? The more vivid this backstory, the more effectively you'll embody this identity when needed. In practice, this process transforms abstract concepts into concrete results. When I needed extreme focus during 6-hour writing sessions, I created an alter ego based on traits I admired in investigative journalists: meticulous attention to detail, relentless curiosity, and immunity to distraction. My activation ritual became brewing a specific tea, arranging my workspace in an exact configuration, and placing my grandfather's fountain pen, my relic, in the center of the desk. This sequence signaled my brain to transition into my focus identity. Your alter ego isn't just a mental trick, it's a neurologically backed method for accessing flow states on demand. By strategically bypassing the limitations of your everyday identity, you create direct access to focus states that previously seemed available only during rare, fortunate moments. This means you can consistently operate at your peak, rather than hoping for occasional inspiration. But the real power comes when you test your alter ego in the real world, facing the very challenges that once defeated you. That's when you discover that what seemed like an insurmountable focus problem was actually an identity problem all along. And you've just found the solution. The most focused version of yourself isn't something you need to build through years of discipline. It's already inside you, waiting to be strategically unleashed through your alter ego. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about discovering and unlocking parts of you that might not realize exist. Your journey from scattered attention to laser focus doesn't require another productivity app or time management system. It requires a transformation of identity. The solution was never about trying harder within your current identity. It was about stepping into a new one designed specifically for the challenge at hand. Begin by identifying your focus realm and inner nemesis today. The person who walks into that next high-stakes situation won't be the same one who struggled before.